Join UF Hall of Famer and 14-year NFL vet Shane Matthews every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about your Florida Gators, including news, analysis, and opinions with some of the biggest names in sports. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, or watch us live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Good morning. Live edition of Matthews in the Morning from the International Diamond Center Studios, locations across the state of Florida, right there at Celebration Point in the heart of Gator Nation. Comfort Temp Heating and Air is your #1 local HVAC company. Go visit them at comforttemp.com. Comfort is our business. Peace of mind is our promise. Today's show, we'll have Buddy Martin from the Buddy Martin Show. We'll have Scott Carter from FloridaGators.com. The Gators, believe it or not, they are playing the semis this week. And Buddy, you're on the Titan No More hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. Listen to this, buddy. The Gators played the semis 12 times in the 90s. Do you realize every time they played, both teams were in the top 10 in America?
I know. FSU was in the top 5, I think, every time.
Yeah. But
yeah,
I mean,
it's amazing.
It goes to show you what a mess.
Well, I think it's important to say that because, and we'll get into this later, it's your show, obviously, but for those young fans just getting involved in this, they don't understand what a great, and I mean great rivalry this was at one time. And you played in some of the games. I mean, there was a time when I've had people tell me it was the #1 rivalry in America, even ahead of Michigan Ohio State. I mean, it was just great. And because of that, it was always for something. And there was always, ranked. You're talking about great games. There were just some tremendous games and some meaningful games. But for those who think this is just another series, no, it's not. It's still a really, really good rivalry, and doesn't mean they have to have great records. But this is their two teams distinguish themselves with some tremendous games.
Yeah, tremendous players. Baron 71 says on YouTube, brought to you by Quad Plumbing, all I ever hear about is how much bigger, better, faster players and teams of today are.
Mm-hmm.
But I call BS. Being a better athlete doesn't make you a better football player. No. I don't know where he's going with that, but.
Well, Shane, who is the best football player you played with? Not the biggest, fastest, strongest.
Football player?
Football player you played with at Florida. Who was the best? Best player.
Oh, I would say probably Eric Rhett.
Okay.
Darren Mickle might have been the most gifted player I ever played with.
Really?
Come to practice, never tied his shoes, never buckled his shoulder pads, and would just whip people's ass. He could pick up a football and throw it like 80 yards.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's disgusting for guys who struggle. Well, I mean, look, there's some great, and you mentioned one, Eric Rhett. Go look up his numbers. Do you realize this guy was 1,000-yard earner every year? I mean, he incredible. And Coach Spurrier used him perfectly because to go and get their 4 or 5 touchdowns and run the draw play the second half, and he was great at it.
I saw Rhett this weekend. He did a little signing at the Union, talked to him for a little bit. He's our all-time leading rusher. People don't realize that.
I know.
Do you know he has more receptions than Chris Doering?
That's a great stat.
Yeah, he was telling me. He's like, people don't really understand how we use the running back then. At least that's what he told me. Now, people are going to check the record books. But
I don't know, but it sounds impressive. He wouldn't lie about it. I know that. And
yeah.
The other thing, yeah.
Richard says on the Titan No More text line, I've been married to the same woman for 55 years, so I thought I was immune to pain. That is until the last 4 years of Gator football.
It's been brutal. It's been a rough patch. And I know there's some who've left the ship, and I understand why. Sometimes you can't take the pain. There's a lot of pain associated with Gator football. And I think about, we had Jake Slaughter on my show last night. You were on. Here's a kid who's done it the right way. Congratulations, by the way. He just won the Wayne McCall Character Award for the Ocala Quarterback Club. And he is, I don't think it's hit him yet until you ask him, Have you thought about what it'll feel like when you run through the tunnel? I don't think it has, but boy, he's endured the pain about as well as anybody.
This text on the Titan More text line from the 901 area code. Shane, what you said about Billy calling plays is spot on. Nobody on that offensive staff can coach football at this level.
Mm.
I tried to tell y'all nobody else could call plays.
Bubba could.
Yeah, Bubba's called plays,
South
but
Carolina.
they
Yeah.
weren't going to let him call plays. So
No, and tells I'm just saying nobody else can. He could. It's like Kermit Bell can coach, but he won't get the chance. So it's just the way it is.
yeah, Braun was saying his comment meant that the teams back in those days would destroy these current teams. No question about it. They'd be blowout city. Blowout city.
Hmm.
All right, buddy. So last game of the year. Well, first of all, give me your thoughts of the Tennessee game, even though it's hard to talk about.
Could have been 100-0
Could have
if
been.
Haifa wanted to make it that way. Uh, I wrote a column about it. I probably have not gotten as much comment about this column, and not that it was a great article, but it just touched some nerves from people who were just absolutely had to face the reality was they really are rooting for a bad football team. And my feeling was, in addition to being a bad football team, every single break that could go against them went against them. Now, a lot of them were induced by stupidity, but there's sometimes things like the ball would die on the 1 foot line, things of that nature. The calls, none of the calls went their way. Not that the penalties beat them; they beat themselves. But it was just it was a horrible nightmare of a game. I mean, above that, Jaden Ball was obviously played tremendous. We still don't get the production out of quarterback position we need. The defense kind of got exposed. Tennessee lined up two wides and ran the ball on them. And so I don't know. You get behind the six and behind everything, it's hard to catch up. And this football team is not built to come back and win. And they just had a horrible night. And it was enough to make you want to. I have an article up right now written by one of our guys. Did people started walking out? Did you see them waving their shirts, Shane?
Yeah, that's some new college thing. I don't really understand what it
Well, it's
is.
kind of like a give up, isn't it? Is that what it is? I
Maybe
mean,
it is. I don't
yeah,
really
I
know.
don't know either, but I mean, it was just one of those nights, and you understand how the pain can make people do things they ordinarily wouldn't do. But by the same token, let me just say one thing: the swamp showed up again, 90,000 or something, and the 17th straight shutout. So they did their part, and it's just too bad they didn't get anything to root for.
Yeah, so we got our last game Saturday in the swamp. You may or may not have a new coach announced on Saturday. We'll have to wait and see. Um, but got to find a way to beat the semis. It'll be an interesting game. You think it's going to be a packed house, buddy?
I don't think so because of the holiday, and it's
I
an odd
agree.
timing in the
Yeah.
afternoon. It's
Well,
4:30 on
if
Saturday.
if the game meant something or we were worth a damn,
It
it'd be
would be.
packed.
Yeah. I mean, they may get 80, 85. I don't know. I doubt it, but there'll be early exits as well, I'm sure. Did you see who the game was called by? I've never even heard of the first game was being
I
called
have
by.
not seen that.
I
No.
got it somewhere and I wrote it down. I'm saying, well, okay. They reached down to the bottom of the barrel to get this one. Nothing against him. He just isn't a marquee guy. Um, and I, I think we want to get it over with, Shane, don't we?
Oh yeah. It's time to move on to the new coach
Yeah,
and
yeah. And you mentioned you didn't know. It's got to happen. And here I'm going to say to spare you the difficulty trying to fumble through these questions because we don't know. We hear it every day. We keep asking. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it because I don't have any idea at all. But I might as well go ahead and pick somebody. Shane, if he was going to stay, he would have announced it before the game, which to give him an incentive at the bowl game. Not that he needed against Mississippi State, although they'll probably play him tough. They'd love to spoil Shane's his party for sure. I think Lane I think Lane knows kind of what he's going to do, but Lane can't go back. When the Lane train has left the station, like I said, yeah, it's like get in your own lane because ours is not going to include the coach at Ole Miss. I don't think he's coming. I know you think he is. I just don't see it and feel like it is. So I'm going to say if he was going to stay, he would have announced it then that he was staying, but he's going to wait and say I'm going to coach in the playoffs, and then I'm going to go to LSU.
I
Then
don't think
Florida.
either. I don't think Ole Miss is going to allow him to stay.
Well, it's happened in the past. Do you
I know
think
it
it
has,
makes?
but I don't think they will.
Do you think
I
it's a
think
bad look?
I would have no problem with him coaching, but I think he should coach the team, but they're not going to let him. In my opinion. Joseph says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, how much longer until Strickland is fired? He's ruined football and well on his way to ruining our baseball program. Any thoughts,
Hmm.
buddy?
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those exits soon. What's his contract he just up? Would he get 2 years? What was that? I
No, he
forgot.
just signed like a 7-year deal.
Was it a 7 year
Like
deal?
guaranteed or something.
Why not? Let's give some more money away. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I think that was all the Board of Regents or whatever, the Board of
yeah,
Trustees, whatever.
yeah, I know what they
I
know,
don't know how
but
all that works.
it's a tone deaf group of people up there. They just tone deaf. They don't seem to understand. So now the question is, where does Florida go? And that's the $64,000 question: is where do they go? What do they do? And it's kind of hard to find that answer. Um, and I think you can pick anybody you want to, but I'm gonna give you. Um, well, I'm gonna wait to see, but I think it's gonna be a high profile. They can't hire a Group 5 coach, can they, Shane?
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
I mean, that's not going to fly, is it?
No. Rodney's
Uh,
question for you, buddy, on Facebook Live brought to you by Mel Law. Why do you believe he's going to LSU and LSU can't even pay the coach
I know
they
that.
claim they just
Listen,
fired?
you think Jimmy Sexton would let him get away with that? No. I mean, I think that will be in stone. They'll put the bags of gold in the vault if they have to.
Yeah, but
There's
they're going to have some issues with trying to pay. They're trying not to pay Brian Kelly's buyout, but
I get all that,
yeah.
but if they can get money when they need money, like somebody said, there's money buried in the bayous. There's money there. They can get it if they need to get it. And I just think there's look they'll take it out the pockets of starving children if they have to. It's just they're going to find and they're going to get their guy. And I don't see it doesn't feel like to me that he's leaning toward Florida. I know what you say,
But
and
buddy, just think about this for a minute. What makes you think he's leaning towards LSU? Lane ain't said anything about that.
I know, I understand. Do
It's
you
the
think?
LSU people pushing the narrative. And maybe it's correct. Maybe it's wrong. I don't know.
Well, you asked me a question,
Yeah.
and I'm just giving you, just my feeling. I'm going by my feeling.
But
He does.
didn't you feel like after the documentary you thought he
No,
was going to stay in Ole
I,
Miss?
I, I did for a long time. I admitted that. I said for 3 weeks before we thought he's going to stay.
I thought that was
And
made for TV, is what that
well,
was.
I'm made for TV then, but I got a feel for it. And felt like to me when I see a picture, Jimmy Valvano said one time, "Don't mess with Happy." He looked like an extremely happy guy. I followed him every lick of the way. I bought the book that he quotes online. I watched every bit of that commentary, that Netflix special, and I saw a sincerity, and I don't know like you do, a sincerity that I'd seen. I think he's grown up. He's
Yeah.
got to make a choice, and he's got a great one to make. And I think it's done at Ole Miss. I don't see how he could possibly go back now and save face. And the program is going to take a big hit because they got to go get somebody. And I think it just doesn't feel like Florida's got the deal done. Everybody I see and read and hear says LSU, LSU, LSU. I don't know. But I think the guy, I'm going to give you a name because that's what we want, all right? If they don't get him, Lincoln Riley. Okay? Now, hate me. Go ahead. I'm going to throw it out. He makes a whole bunch of money. I just wonder. They got to get someone of that ilk, right? They just have to. And so if that happened now, I could be wrong on all the above. I told you it was a guess. I don't know, but something's going to happen. It's going to happen this weekend. And remember, folks, The game is 11 a.m. on Friday. You'll know by Saturday. And if Lane ain't coming, it's time to make. And the question is, does Florida have the money and the wherewithal and the smarts to get the right guy? And I wonder,
I think they're smart enough with the search firm and all that stuff. They know how important it is.
well, that search firm is overdone. Look, everybody gets a search
Well,
firm.
that search firm is why you haven't heard a whole lot.
And you know what? I don't buy that because you don't hire people not to keep people news out. You try to control the news, fully use them all the time. I understand you call them first, and he told me one time, what the hardest thing about it is find out if the candidates you have in mind is movable, wants to go. That's the first thing. Then secondly, what are the particulars? I don't know if I don't feel like Florida's been terribly active. It ain't Eli Drinkwitz, I don't think. I'm just not getting a name popping up here anywhere, and so I'm just going to throw one on there and they can rally.
When Urban Meyer wanted to introduce his high quality tequila to the Gator Nation, he made sure to get it to the HBC and his team at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill and Dorn's Liquors. Go beyond with smooth Los Landeros tequila. We got Buddy Martin on the Titan Mark text line, and we will have Scott Carter, second part of today's program. Barone says on YouTube, brought to you by Quad Plum, I think Riley would leave USC because he was quite pissed when USC went to the Big Ten without informing him. His agent is also former Gator Trace Armstrong, who lives here in Gainesville.
That was Urban's, wasn't he Urban's agent, I think, one time?
That I don't know.
Yeah, he was.
I don't keep up with all that stuff.
Yeah, he was.
A lot of people are texting on the Titan Mar text line. What about Dabo Sweeney?
No. He's like a used car. He's got 250,000 miles on him. He wants out of Clemson. He's had a great run. He's trying to reinvent himself, and he ain't Steve Spurrier. I don't want Dabo Sweeney.
Yeah, that's true. This day in sports brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Put some star power to work in your financial life. At Campus USA Credit Union, we're proud member Stephen Orr Spurrier Banks. All right, this day, where did it go? 2018, LA Chargers quarterback Philip Rivers sets an NFL single game record, completing 25 straight passes, which he broke Mark Brunell and David Carr's previous record of 22 straight completions. Also sets the NFL record for the best single game completion percentage at 96.6%. That's This Day in Sports, brought to you by Campus USA.
Who's got the Florida record for the most straight completions?
No idea.
Somebody out there knows.
I would say it's probably some like Eric Kresser or somebody with my guess.
No, Eric Kresser didn't play enough.
But he could play one game.
That's true. No, but
Yeah.
I mean,
He played one
that's
game
true.
and set the school record for passing.
That's true. Now, he's a great player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not down on him. He was a tremendous quarterback, and he went on to do some things that proved that. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't think Shane. Can you get your arms around this FSU game? I mean, it's going to be hard.
I mean, buddy, that sounds terrible. We just need to find a way to win the game and move on. Is that bad?
No, it's not bad. I was honest.
Yeah.
How we all feel. Let's get rid of this year.
It's been a bad year. I don't know how
Let's 2026, baby. That's our year.
Yeah, I guess these people, what was the battle cry back in the day? Wait till next year.
That was it. That was a wait till next year game. That was back all the way back to Ray Graves and Spurrier
But
and whatever.
here's what I will say about that. If you hire the right coach, this ain't like a damn rebuild. In today's world,
Yeah.
the coach is going to bring multiple players,
Including his own quarterback, probably. Mhm.
Well, it depends on who it is and where he is.
Mhm.
But yes, they're going to bring a lot of their own players. Joseph says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law, Dabo, Chip Kelly, John Gruden, you people can't be serious. Y'all need to stop making our fan base look dumb as hell.
Well, give me somebody then. I understand what you're saying. I agree, but give me somebody. Give me a name. Give me somebody that lights your fire. You can't just have somebody strolling off the streets. I mean, I'd love to see him go hire Curran Bell. That ain't going to happen. I think he won some games here. His
Urban lost
quarterback.
his quarterback into the transfer portal.
Yeah, he was a good little player too, man. You talk to him all the time. I mean, I
Talk
just
to him.
think,
I talk to him and Cade once a week.
yeah.
I don't think
Cade's a-
Cade will be at Pitt next year, personally.
Really?
Mm-mm. I think he'll be at another school, Colin Paul plays probably. But we'll see. We'll see.
It's all shuffles. It's so hard to keep up.
Going for the money. Got to go where the money is. Buddy, give me your thoughts on Jed Fish.
It's kind of unfair for me to say this because I don't know Jed. Uh, I just know people who know him. He's obviously a good football coach. There's something kind of secondhand about him. And I give him all the credit in the world for having the gumption to bug Spurrier into getting a job. And if it's true that he wrote 54 notes to get Spurrier's attention, that's kind of begging. He's had pretty good results. He does not ring my chimes. Nothing about him that gets me excited. Does he you?
No, I know Jed. Jed was just a volunteer coach here. Never played football in his life. Not that that matters. He's coached a lot of colleges. He's coached at a million NFL teams.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't think so. But you never know. Kevin wants me to ask you on the YouTube what's on the Titan Amar text line brought to you by Titan Amar. Ask Buddy if he believes in the happy wife, happy life, even an ex-wife.
That's a good one. Probably so. I mean, if you get everything else going, and I think you talked about last night, we don't really know his relationship with Layla. It appears that they have peacefully coexisted.
Yep.
I don't know any more about that situation. I'm happy that his family is together. I'm sorry I buy into that Hallmark theory that
But
that
buddy, but let me stop you right there.
yeah,
I get it. Realize one girl is getting ready to graduate from Ole Miss. The
yeah,
other girl is at USC. So they're not
yeah.
all together.
Well, they are now. They are living in the same area in Oxford. So that's the point, is that he seems very happy and everything he talks about, he tweets, he writes, he talks, is that he's so happy to sit around the table like a Hallmark card and be happy that he's got these people around him. So that's a good thing. I'm happy. And his sobriety was a big part of that. I give Lane all the credit in the world for getting his act together because he was a royal pain in the ass. He was
Mhm.
petulant, he was a child, he did some stupid things and deserved all the admonishment he got from Saban and everybody else. He's a grown man now. He's 50 years old. He's got it right now. At least having said that, he ain't the only football coach on the planet. There are other people out there. I know we're all in on him. You've convinced me. But there are other good football coaches. The question is, can Florida find them and can Florida sign them?
Yeah, time will tell. People keep texting me my thoughts on Lincoln Riley. I love Lincoln Riley.
Well,
I think
give me some stuff on Lincoln.
I mean, the guy is young.
Smart.
He's coached three Heisman Trophy winners. Think about that.
I heard you say that the other day. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Three. I don't even think I think he's like 44 years old. I think he's really,
Spurrier was 44 when he came to Florida.
yeah,
You
but
realize
Coach
that?
didn't have three
Yeah.
Heisman Trophy winners.
No, he didn't.
I think he's really good offensively. People talk about his team struggling with defense. We can fix that if that has to happen. Trust me, we can fix that. It's an easy fix.
Makes a lot of money.
And people want to know Jeff Brom. I've loved Jeff Brom since he was the head coach of Western Kentucky.
Hmm.
I think that was back when we hired maybe McElwain.
Hmm.
I was wanting him then. I don't think Jeff leaves his alma mater though.
He's there. He looks like he's a lifer at Louisville, and we know that's the same thing to Oregon. Dan Lanning says he's home. He ain't going nowhere. Now, I've seen coaches change their mind, but I think those are two guys that are off the charts and off the resumes. I don't see. I mean, Lincoln Riley. What does he make? 100. How much does he make a year?
A
About
lot, a lot,
12 million.
I think. But think about Muddy Waters on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plum, just listed some of his quarterbacks. Caleb Williams, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Baker
Yeah,
Mayfield, Gardner
yeah,
Minshew,
yeah.
Spencer Rattler.
I think that's a pretty good list.
Every one of those are in the NFL right now.
Yeah. Well,
It's
let's go get
crazy.
Lincoln Riley. Let's go get him. Let's start it
Yeah.
right now on this show right now. Let's go get Lincoln Riley. You got Scott Strickland's home number. Call him up and tell him we just demand Lincoln
I'm
Riley.
sure he's on his list.
I'm sure he is too.
Let's hope he is at least.
Well, he's going to have somebody on his list because I'm telling you, I'd like to say he was coming, but he ain't coming.
Lincoln Riley's not?
No, I'm talking about your boy Lane. He ain't coming.
Okay, so buddy, I still want to know why you think that.
Gut feeling.
Okay. All right.
I hope I'm wrong.
Well, you're either right or wrong. I mean, it's 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, we can all make
We
the call
flip a
after it's
coin.
over. Yeah. Do you got somebody besides Lincoln Riley you'd like to get? Because
I
if you
haven't
do,
even thought about it, buddy. I'm
you better
exhausted. I'm
think about it
over it.
because it's 12
Just
o'clock.
find me
It's
somebody that can call plays and deal with quarterbacks. That's all I care
Shane,
about.
it's midnight and Miss America ain't coming through the door. So you got to make a choice here to pick pretty quick.
I'm not so sure about that. I'll wait till it doesn't happen and then deal with it. That's what
Boy,
I'll do.
okay.
Atlantic Roofing, your roofing experts for residential and commercial roofing with more than 50 years of local experience. If you need a roof, give them a call. That's Atlantic Roofing. All right.
Can I mention one thing real quick?
Yeah.
Saturday, Friday, we're going to be up at Celebration Point, and the Book Boys got a great book out. The book is called The Golden Season. You see me pumping it, and it's out now. It's printed, and we got some special deals going on. And Franz Beard, who was the main author, will be at Celebration Point Friday night, 6 o'clock. He'll be signing books, and they're going at a premium price on other sites, just so you know. And this is a chance to buy one at a good price to say get it signed. And I know one guy selling it for $10 more. If it's signed by friends, if I signed it, it'd probably go down $10. But anyway, please come see us on Friday at 6 o'clock, and Celebration Point and get France to sign you. What a great gift for Christmas. You can solve and get your 10 books right now for you Gator basketball fans. And it's going to be a great weekend, even though it may not be a great game. Coming up this Friday, Celebration Point, 6 o'clock, the Golden Season, Franz Beard.
Buddy on the Titan and More text line from George. He says, buddy, Chip Kelly's available.
I know, I saw that. You know my history about that, right?
Yeah, they say on here that you didn't you break the news that we're hiring Chip Kelly or
Did
something?
not say that. I never said, and people have stopped accusing me of that. You can go look up the tape and find out. I never said he's going to be hired. But what I did say was they were sending a plane up to New Hampshire and they were going to offer him the job. And I broke that story and the internet went crazy. And I knew I had it. I knew they had to manifest. I knew what I was talking about. And I thought they were going to go to get hired. And I had heard one guy, who, by the way, is an attorney, who did some work for Florida later on, say he saw a contract. Okay, I don't know if he did. I said they were on the 1 yard line with Chip Kelly. They offered him that job. The plane came back and without him, and we met them at the Ocala airport. Surprised Scott Strickland, everybody else. We were standing there with a live shot when he pulled in. That was our airport story. People who follow my website, follow me online and the Gator Bay media know the story, the famous airport thing. Yes, that's Chip Kelly. I never said. I thought he was going to be hired, but I never said he was hired. I never said that. So hey, he's available. Go get him, Scott.
Maybe he's cheap and available.
There you go.
They ain't gonna hire him.
No, but I'm just
Buddy,
saying, yeah.
who you got on your program tonight?
I don't have anybody. Lauren Meadows is the captain of that ship,
Mm.
and he'll be there. With always has great stuff on Tuesday nights. We're getting ready to go to upstate for the holidays, and we'll be on the air Wednesday night with our Thanksgiving show. What's your favorite piece of turkey, Shane?
Oh, I'm a breast guy. I'm white
Yeah,
meat.
me too.
Yeah,
Yeah, you like dressing with yours, homemade
absolutely.
dressing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what's your favorite thing? What are your? I like candied yams.
I'm a sweet
Uh,
potato casserole guy.
Yeah, oh yeah, sweet potato. My mama made the greatest sweet potato pie that you would have sworn was pumpkin. It was just great sweet potato. And then you can throw in your accoutrements, all the other things go. So it's an awful lot of work for an hour, for 30 minutes at the table. But it's still a special time and my favorite time because there are no gifts needed. You go and you eat and you watch football. That's my
That's right.
favorite kind of holiday, right?
That's right. Somebody on here Greg says on Facebook Live, most completions in a row lagway. There's no way that's possible.
Yeah, I don't think.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is, but I don't think it
Well,
is.
maybe one of your crack researchers, you got 100 of them out there, could find out for sure and document that. We don't speak in rumors here. We talk about facts. And Lincoln
Yeah.
Riley is it.
That's who you're calling now. It's going to be our new.
No, that's who I'm. You know, there are going to be people who say that I said Lincoln Riley was hired. They're going to say it. You know, they're going to say it. Let me repeat to you. This is just my estimation and guess. Nobody else has got anything. Shane, you won't give me a quarter. You can't give me a coach. You don't have anybody. You stick with Lane. You're going down with Lane. Is what you're
That's
doing.
fine. I'll go down with him. I'm just giving you my thoughts.
But what if it's not him?
Okay, then we switch to the next guy. I don't know who the
And
hell
who's
it
your
is.
next guy? You got to give me a name.
I just said it's got to be. I don't care if it's a dude that coaches at some high school in Oklahoma.
Okay,
If he
so
knows quarterback play and can call plays, that's all I care about.
so you're going with Jed Fish.
I really would have liked to have. I just lost a blank. The North Texas coach, but I think he's going to Arkansas.
You're just telling me here we're begging the North Texas coach to coach
Buddy,
Florida.
just watch. Just watch what Eric Morris does in his career.
I know. I hear
Look
great
at his
things.
track. Look at his track record
I know.
of offense, and he is a star, freaking star.
I'm not interested in taking a gamble. I want to
It
prove
ain't a
it.
gamble. When the guy
What do you
can
mean it's
call
not a
plays,
gamble?
it ain't.
The North
It ain't a
Texas
gamble.
State coach is not a gamble.
Buddy, here's a simple
It's an
solution.
awful gamble.
Turn the freaking tape on and watch his teams play, and that tells you if a guy can coach or not.
Okay, well, he may be a
it's the same
great
thing about
coach.
turn the tape on and you can tell if a player can play or not.
Well,
It's
next,
amazing to me how many people cannot figure it out. It's absolutely amazing to me.
I mean, I turned on the tape and saw Jaden Ball from the beginning and called that shot. Okay, that
Okay,
was mine.
we're talking about a coach with his entire roster calling plays
Yeah.
and winning football games.
Yeah, but he's not the guy to go next. He may have to go someplace else than in there. I'm sorry, I can't
He's
accept
probably
it.
going to be at Arkansas dialing it up.
Fine, let him go to Arkansas. Then we'll talk to him.
But
It's
anyway,
just they got to go get a proven coach.
so
I don't
so
want.
I'm
I don't want any
going
more
at,
Sunbelt bellies. No
hang
more
on.
Sunbelt bellies.
Do you know any of the quarterbacks that he developed, Eric Morris? Cam
I don't
Ward, John Mateer, Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, great. That's fine. He ain't ready for Florida. He's
Okay.
not ready to be hired by Florida. He's just not.
Well, he's not going to be hired, but I'm just telling you that it doesn't take a freaking guy from Harvard, some scientist, to figure out who
I
can
get
coach
it.
and who can't.
But you know what, Shane, like someone said, we're one more miss away from being a broken program. We're going
No,
to
we
become
are a broken program. There's
we're,
no more
well,
minutes
we're
of
going
that.
to be Nebraska.
We are rock ass bottom right now.
Well, we can't afford to hire the coach and know those together. We got to get a proven guy in here. We got to get.
I agree with that, but you're telling me we're not getting Lane, we're not getting.
Well,
this,
I don't.
we're not
I would
getting
hate
that guy.
John Gruden. I'd rather have them than the coach.
Hell no.
I said that. You said I hate John Gruden, but I'd rather have him than the coach of North Texas State. Really?
It's North Texas. It's the Mean Green.
Whatever. I know. Yeah. And then right.
All right, you'll see. All right, buddy. Have a good week.
All
We'll
right.
see who the
Happy
coach is
Thanksgiving
next
to you,
week.
Shane.
That's
Have
Buddy
a
Martin.
great Thanksgiving. Bye bye.
That's Buddy Martin. Join us on the Take No More Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. Come back. We'll be joined by Scott Carter from FloridaGators.com. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews this morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. We'll be right back. Our premium sponsors are Atlantic Roofing, Campus USA Credit Union, International Diamond Center, J.F. Hayden's Craft Liqueurs, Los Landeros Tequila, Meldon Law, Titan MRI and Imaging, UF Health Orthopedics. Our gridiron sponsors are Baker's Sports, Comfort Temp, Electronics World, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Florida Victorious, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Rue's Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Mills Cheesesteaks, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, McDonald's of Gainesville, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, Advocare, and MG&A Wealth. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the podcast whenever on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. And if you want to advertise, give my man Freddie a call at 352-284-3733.
Hi there, this is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that by popular demand, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet. You have spoken, we have listened, and we're now serving Gainesville's only elevated buffet complete with an omelet station, ginger sage chicken sausage, shredded short rib, and of course our chicken and waffles. Plus, you can enjoy bottomless, mimosas, and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Welcome back to the International Diamond Center Studios. Florida Crackers, a brand for original Floridians, great food and southern hospitality in the center of the universe, Brooksville, Florida, and also Florida Cracker Oyster Bar in Keystone Heights. Go check it out. That's floridacracker.com. Back to the Titan More hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp, our good friend Gator Scott, as he's known on Twitter. It is Scott Carter from floridagators.com. What's up, my man?
Hey, good morning, Shane. Doing well, man. Just that time of year where it's hard to believe the season's only got one game left, man. I mean, it's been a newsworthy season, but it's going by pretty fast.
Yeah, you're right. So, Scott, I know you do a lot of research going into games and stuff. Have the two teams been this bad between Florida and Florida State?
I mean, it was rare until last year when, Florida State only had 2 wins. The Gators had 6 at the time. So they both got 8 wins again this year combined. And before then, you had to go back a ways. Obviously, we're used to, in our era, this was really one of the top rivalries in the country. And every year it had national championship implications. And unfortunately, really the last 12 to 15 years, very few of these games have really mattered nationally. I mean, they always mattered to the programs, but it's a rivalry that, needs a little bit of a boost, but, there's still going to be a great crowd there. And anytime it's Florida State, there's always a lot of pride on the line. I just miss those days, Shane, when both were in the top 5 every year.
You ain't lying. I mean, I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Scott, I saw somewhere somebody posted on Twitter, Florida State played 12 times in the 90s. Every game,
Yep.
Both teams were top 10 or better. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we were definitely spoiled back then. Didn't realize how good we had it probably. But gosh, even today, I still think back to those games and some of the most memorable college football games I ever watched.
Scott, there's a text here for you on the Titan Mar text line from, I'm not sure who it's from, but they said, can you ask Scott if Mekhi Burrow and Bryce Thornton will be back for Saturday's game?
I think at this point it's still up in the air. I mean, the first injury report hasn't come out. I wasn't at practice yesterday, so I don't know what they're doing. I just know that, it seems like right now there's a lot of guys that are kind of day to day. I know there's been a lot of talk about the injury report and why Florida is just so long. And, Billy Gonzalez was even asked about that yesterday because oftentimes the first correlation that, a lot of fans want to draw is, well, something's going on in the strength department that needs to be improved. And I've seen that every time a coaching change is made at Florida. And it just kind of, it's not always relevant, hardly ever is actually. And, Billy Gonzalez just broke down his guys. Hey, Vernell fell on his shoulder in a game. Dallas Wilson hurt his foot at practice. I mean, these things happen. It's football. It's a physical game. But the injury report has certainly been a lot longer for the Gators than most people wanted to see this year.
Yeah, Scott, MSRK on YouTube brought to you by Quality Plumbing says all the talent in this state, and this is what we end up with. I'd be curious in today's world, you go back in the 90s, I would say 90% of the rosters for both squads were state of Florida kids, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I bet it's about 70% now.
Well, I think when you look at what's happened with the Florida programs, I think the biggest is, in business they call it a brain drain, right? When some of your top people get poached away. In football, it's a talent drain. The state is still loaded with talent, but the Ohio States and USC's and Michigan's and all these schools up north, at some point, I think in the late 90s, 2000s, they said, you know what? We've got to go down there and start getting some of these players. And that's what they've done the last 20 years. And you're right. Used to you could play at Florida State, and you might not play for a couple years because of who was ahead of you. But the roster was always rebooted in a strong way, and that's just not the case anymore.
Yeah. MSRK asked me, and I talked about this with Steve Russell yesterday on his program, how many receivers missed games when you played, Shane? I was trying to think in my 3 years as a starter here, I don't remember ever having a receiver, running back, or an offensive lineman miss a game.
Wow.
I don't remember any
That's
defensive
crazy.
guys missing games. I think in today's world, whether I'm right or wrong, I don't care. It's just my thoughts. With guys
Yeah.
getting paid and having agents and marketing guys, if they are not close to 80%, they ain't gonna play. And I think it's because I don't want to put bad tape out there. Whereas back in the day, you would not miss a freaking game. You did whatever you
Yeah.
could to play in that game because you weren't thinking the way they think now. Whether that's right or wrong, but I
Yeah.
firmly believe that's my thoughts on that.
I've had talks with other people about that, and there's no doubt that that's part of the issue. It is a different era, and guys, when you get paid at this stage, some very well, what's the motivation, So that's just where the game's at. And also, I was talking to someone the other day about players, how a lot of, there's some guys now who don't live with anyone, like they can afford to live by themselves, and so they're not around their teammates that much anymore. I think that hurts team chemistry, camaraderie. I just think there's a lot of things in college football right now that if they're not addressed in some ways, it's just going to drift more and more wherever it's going, and it's far from where it's been.
Yeah. Franklin Hall on YouTube, brought by Quad Plum, says, didn't Reggie Green start because of injury? No. Reggie Green got inserted as a true freshman because our first 2 or 3 games we couldn't block anybody, and coach had seen enough. He made a change. This text on the Titan Mars text line says, Shane, do you think Kiffin will be worth all the money and drama? He hasn't won anything major. I think Lane brings a lot to the table, regardless of where he's going to be coaching. He brings great offense. Fans love it. You are what people are willing to pay for you, right? Market value. So when people say he hasn't won anything major, that is true, but there's only 3 coaches in college football that have won anything. It's hard.
Yeah, that's a good
It's
point.
hard.
Yeah, it is very hard.
I think Steve Sarkisian's a phenomenal coach. He ain't won nothing. I think Jeff Brom's a phenomenal coach. He ain't won nothing. So
yeah, I think we live in a time. Elite coaches, they're very rare. So when you
rare.
come across one, and there's a reason that Steve Spurrier and Urban Meyer are the only 2 coaches in Florida football history who ever won a national title. They were elite. There's not many of those around, and if you have a chance to get one, you go for it. I'm like you. It's easy to question Lane Kiffin that he hasn't won anything, but I think when you do what he's done at Ole Miss, I think that proves, in my eyes, he's pretty elite in this age in the SEC. So I understand the interest.
DRM on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, Scott, will we know who the new coach is by game time Saturday?
That's a great question. I wouldn't be surprised because I know how all this works behind the scenes. As soon as Lane Kiffin or Keith Carter or whatever that meeting is, and whatever the decision is, it's going to leak out pretty quick. That's just the way the world works. So it would not surprise me at all sometime Friday night for it to start leaking out. So we'll see. it's fascinating. I was telling somebody, I mean, they can make it 30 for 30 on this, man, because obviously the behind the scenes stuff is somebody's trolling somebody. We're gonna find out soon who it was.
Yeah, and see, I may be in the minority here, and I may be an idiot, but I feel like he's already told Ole Miss he's leaving. I think they're. I mean, I just don't see him calling Keith Carter Saturday morning, because he's going to go. He's going to play the Egg Bowl, then he's going to go to his son's. I think they play at Tupelo that night, a playoff game, and then he's going to roll back into Oxford, wake up after he does hot yoga Saturday morning. Hey Keith, I'm leaving. I just think it's already been done, or he's already told them. I mean, I just don't know. I don't know. I just feel like that's what's happened. So we shall see.
Yeah, it very well could have. Either way, it's going to make a funny 30 for 30, man.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Jonathan says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. I live in North Mississippi, about an hour from Oxford. My Ole Miss friends would rather lose Lane to us than LSU. My Rebel friends are hurting bad. Yeah, because Ole Miss LSU is a huge rivalry game that goes back years ago. They call it the Magnolia Bowl. So uh,
Mhm.
time will tell. We'll find out Saturday, I guess, when you're drinking your coffee. I mean, what are they going to have? Like a huge press? It's going to be interesting. If they have like a huge press conference, is Lane just going to tweet it? I don't know what's going to happen, but
I
uh,
don't have any idea, man. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he does
I
something
feel
on
like
Twitter and
Scott. Maybe I'm crazy. I feel like he's going to show up at the new school campus and do the press conference. I do.
I mean, that would be beautiful. That would be very Lane like if it
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Maybe he runs out like in a Superman costume or something. I mean, who knows, man? It's entertaining. It's just kept the college football world abuzz the last couple of weeks. And all I've always said, I don't know where it's going, but it's good to be Lane Kiffin right now. That's all I know.
Yeah. Here's this text on the Titan Mart text line from Will. He wants to know, Scott, if it's not Lane, who's your second choice?
Gosh, I'm like everybody else. You look at these lists, and it's like, we've all seen Eli Drinkwitz, Jeff Brav, Jed Fish, Kenny Dillingham. I mean, they're all there, and I don't know who. I'll be honest with you. If I just had to pick somebody, I just like what Braum does offensively. But I'm an offensive. I look at the game from more of an offensive lens, and I know that he had a bad last Saturday, but I think he's won at Louisville pretty well. But of course, Lane Kiffin's the one guy who, from the start of this, was okay. If I was AD, that's the guy I want. I probably would have called Nick Saban first for him to tell me definitely no, I'm not interested. And then after that, I would have. Lane Kiffin was my number one target.
Yeah, for sure. Scott, let's switch gears just briefly, talk a little basketball. For people who may not have been paying attention to the basketball team, they will be playing out in San Diego on Thursday and Friday in a little tournament out there. So while you're eating your turkey, you'll get to watch some hoops, get to watch the Gators, which is cool because I was trying to think back. I think during when Mike White and Billy were here, I don't think we ever really played in a lot of these holiday edition tournaments, which I love because it gives you something to watch on
Yeah.
TV. But it sounds like
Yeah.
Todd Golden, we played in Vegas. Now we're going to San Diego. I think he'll continue doing that. It gives great exposure. You get to play some good teams before conference play.
Yeah, I'm like you. I love it, and you get the best. The good competition is the most important thing. They've already played Arizona, obviously, in the season opener. I think that's a game that will benefit them later in the season. And I was talking to Chris Harry, my colleague, the other day. He was telling me that before they played in the NCAA tournament out in San Francisco this past spring, they haven't played a game in California like in 40 years. And now, in a span of a few months, they've been to San Francisco, Las Vegas, although it's not California, it's close, and now San Diego. So they're getting some West Coast exposure, and they bounced back from the loss to Arizona in the opener and playing pretty good. I still think, obviously, the storyline right now been. The shooting hasn't been there from the 3-point line that we got accustomed to last year with Clayton and Richard and that group. So, they're going to have to improve there. But I think the big inside game, those guys are coming along and really controlling the pace and the action a lot. So it's a give and take, with the outside shooting. But yeah, Todd Golden, one thing about him, he likes the challenge, and I think that's just the way he runs his program.
Yeah, it's he knows what he's doing for sure. Scott, you got any good stuff that you're going to release on the website for this Florida State game?
Well, the game itself is kind of getting overshadowed, obviously. It's still an important game. I was doing some research. Speaking of that, this is the 500th home game in Gators football history since they moved into the swamp. Their first game was 1930 against Alabama. And you think about it, that's 95 years, and this is only the 500th game at the stadium over that time. It just seems like there should be more, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you only play 5 or 6 a year, that's what it adds up to. So, a little history blog. Obviously, I'm going to write about a guy. I've had a story sitting on Jacoby Jackson for a while, and it's unfortunate what's happened to him with his injury. And he's one of the most likable guys on the team, and he's a good little player. I mean, he was a good alternate to Jaden Ball, but unfortunately, injury cost him the season pretty much, and now he's at crossroads of what's his future going to be. So, kind of writing that, and of course, we'll have our regular game preview stuff, Shane.
Yeah, Scott, happy Thanksgiving, my friend. We'll see you in the press box Saturday. Could be an entertaining day on Saturday.
Yeah,
Not
man.
not
see.
the game, but other stuff off the field. It could be entertaining.
Yeah. Maybe someone will drop out of the sky in a helicopter or something. I'm up for anything.
What if our new coach
parachuted
into it and brought the game ball?
You know what? I think that would go viral on social media. I'm pretty sure.
That would be a splash. That would be a splash.
It'd be fun. But we'll see. You guys have a good Thanksgiving as well, man.
All right, that's Scott Carter joining us on the Titan More Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. The Pouncey twins provide all of Gator Nation with the highest quality liqueurs made by J.F. Hayden Craft Liqueurs. Find your favorites, including the mango flavors at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. That's going to do it for today's program. Again, thanks to Buddy and to Scott Carter. And we'll see if any more news breaks today. Y'all have a great day. See you tomorrow. Take care.